So hello guys. Last week was actually something else, so I couldn't actually uh deliver because we had some power outage, very serious one. Even though I saw power to actually run up positions, but when I was able to figure it out, market had actually already tagged my target and all of that. So I will just start now to show you guys who I'm expecting for the next week, and I apologize for not coming through last week. So now, first of all, the first thing I always look at is the seasonality. Now for me, you will see that we have bullish DXY. Now I have a mixed feeling, and I'm going to talk about that. Now, what are the mixed feeling? Now for DXY, currently, when we look at starting of the week, I always like to look at the DXY to know, okay, is it a time, are we already there, like are we already at that place where my macro anticipations will start kicking in fundamental technically. So would notice that interweekly we're in an FVG, so I'll probably want to see markets maybe react from here, but I would like to see how next week closes. If next week closes bearish, we might continue seeing some downward movement, but if we see another bullish close for next week, and then probably if the bullish close gets above somewhere above, okay, let me use this level, somewhere above this level, I would anticipate going up to somewhere around here, that is 103.2, 103.5 ish. So now for the week, daily time frame, we will notice that market has entered this imbalance here, and then obviously this imbalance actually aligned somehow with this fair value gap. So but I want to see market maybe come up here. Let me see what happens. Then if we don't, and then continue down. Now remember, we're at a daily order block, bullish order block already. So I'm going to make this week's explanation very detailed. So I want to see how market reacts. If Monday closes bullish, maybe would continue to go up, but let's see. First of all, we had actually had this break of market structure. We broke market structure again to the downside, now to the upside. Now there's a possibility of upside. Remember, first thing, seasonality. I like when my macros and my technicals are actually in sync with the seasonality. Now we would notice already how TXY is, from the beginning of May, we have seen this upward movement, so that might continue. Now fundamentally or macroeconomic wise, we are going to be looking at that from a standpoint of trade agreements from China and the US. If the US eventually reaches an agreement with China this weekend, we might see some upward movement. But if that doesn't happen, then we'll continue bearish, and market will maybe probably eliminate these liquidity levels here and take this low, most probably. So I am looking out for what comes out from China and US trade deal. It's very important. So that being said, if we also look at the US calendar, we will notice that for next week, we'll notice we have CPI, PPI, major economic events like that are going to come with so much volatility and all of that. On Monday, we'll just have a tentative Chinese news. So on Tuesday, we have climate count change, which is very important for UK. Now we have the German ZEW economic sentiment, which I also consider very important. Now we look at the US CPIs, and then pretty much some heavy news. Now I don't trade AUD and NZD no more. I stopped that because I noticed that my entry strategy works best in GBP and Euro, and then let's look at something. If you look at DXY, which is one of the major components that most traders actually use to analyze USD related pairs, the composition is 57.6% Euro, 13.6% Japanese yen, 11.9% GBP, 9.1% CAD, 4.2% SEK, that is I think that's South Korea currency. Now we have 3.6% Swiss franc. Now here you didn't see AUD, you didn't see NZD, so I don't like having them or inculcating them for these reasons, because I don't see them as part of the composing currencies of DXY. So I like to actually take them off my outlook. Now I have PPI, which I think will be probably, let's see what CPI does first before I can conclude on how important PPI would be or not. My retail sales is very important, so let's see how it plays out, what comes out from there. One of the most important, power speech will actually be very significant, but before then things can change. Let's see. I'm also looking out for University of Michigan consumer sentiment. It's very important to me. Now I would have actually gone to COT and all of that, but for now I don't really like to discuss that. Now, but even though if you look at it, you will notice that the commercials are actually net buy on DXY on dollars. But let's see what happens. That's why I said I'm very skeptical. I'm open to anything. For now, if you look, BMS is to the upside. Candlestick price psychology is also turning onto the buy side. Now you would also notice that the 20 MA has also crossed to the upside. So many things actually like looking like okay, maybe probably dollar is going to go to the upside, but I'm open to anything. Now if we look at, so that's why I said I'm actually going to be looking out for China US trade deal to see what happens there. Now if we look at this market is in this other block level, so CP has aligned, BMS is there. So now for Euro we haven't tagged this level, so I want to probably see on Monday Euro coming to tag this level, before we even start talking about upside. So but I'm going to monitor what this does during the Asian session to know whether okay, can I enter during the London session. But maybe if by Asian session we had already seen this move in here, then maybe by London or New York most probably will now continue to the upside. But I will be very much open, because macro is dicey. It's at a neutral level where technically Euro and GBP has been up for a while, so I see this exhaustion. So I'm very cautious. I don't want a situation whereby I'm not like overly, that's the word, I'm not overly positioned to a particular side. I am more of on a neutral level, you know, more of on a neutral level, even though I anticipate, euro to go. But remember, as fluid as water. So I take whatever position the macroeconomic and the fundamentals are already sinking towards. Like, I'm not a rigid kind of person. I am very, 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 very fluid. And when you look at GBP also, you would notice that is at an order block, but I'm also going to look and see, okay, now you could see that it came into this FVG here. The low is 32116. The low here is 32111. So it came into this FVG here. So let's watch and see if this will continue to take the market up. So I would actually be very, very, very much open-minded when it comes to both sides. Now when we look at GBP closed bullish for last week after entering an order block. Technically, I would be wanting it to take this high at least, or maybe a little bit up to this level, maybe 13600 level. So I want to see that move technically. Now when you look at euro stepped into this weekly FVG, so probably let's see what happens. But if I'm going to sell, I'll be more inclined on selling euro. Now if I'm going to buy, I'll be more inclined on buying GBP. Yet, so I'll be very, very much inclined in that since it closed bullish on the weekly time frame. Now you look at the daily, you look at how it closed, how the structure has been, and all of that. So for me personally, I've been anticipating this liquidity level here, and when market took this liquidity level, closed up. But if you a gun on my head and you ask me what's going to happen, where's market going to position to, I don't think any trade deal will be agreed upon this weekend. I don't think so. Like, the possibility of that is far, far away. I know how complicated China and US are when it comes to like making a trade agreement and all of that. So I'll be more poised to the upside, but not much like of a move. I'll be probably for GBP, I'll be looking at something like 230 pips at most. So I don't like showing my markups. I just want to have a clean conversation, focus on what I'm explaining, understand better how I make my outlook. What is on my screen is none of your business. Just focus on my explanation. That's what will help your life. That's what will benefit you most. Don't confuse yourself with my drawings and illustration. It's best understood by me. You cannot understand it no matter how you try to, if you are not taught by me. And to set the record straight, I've just only taught 2 people since I started. This is my 6th year now in this. So yeah, so I'm currently going to watch what happens on Monday, the reaction between my key point liquidity levels and all of that, see what is going to happen. But gun on my head, bullish, but not really like bullish, like kind of sporadic bullish. No, not bullish, but with some consciousness. You have to you have to actually like be taking note of what is happening macro wise. So let's see how it goes. Let's see. So this is actually my anticipation. So probably let me show my markup when it comes to the 1 hour time frame. So based on 1 hour time frame, let me remove this. Oh God have mercy. So yeah, I want to see if I see GBP taking the previous day high, I would want to see markets shut down to this fair value gap, 1 hour fair value gap. So I would also want to see previous day low to be taken. I want it to be maintained. Now if it is maintained, I want to see euro do something. I don't want to see euro take the previous day high, so I want to see euro maybe just retrace, take the previous day low to form a divergence. Now it's sliding into the daily FVG and then me writing it up. Now I would actually want to get into a trade by Monday. Tuesday, if I'm actually like Tuesday is just going to be, so I'm actually going to look at macro wise, to know how relevant will CPI be. If I notice that maybe as CPI approaches that it's not really going to be something that the market will actually like, maybe probably you see as volatile, then I'm actually be able to position Tuesday New York session. Now, but this, I don't know, but I would like to actually get a position on this day if I can. If not, Wednesday. If I don't get Wednesday, probably I don't know, this retail sell is something I'm actually looking out for here, but and then future power stock, or regardless, I think I'll have Friday, but I don't know how big the candle range for the week is, but I'll still get what I want to get, just with time. If I'm looking at it day to day, I would actually know where I'll be anticipating the market to get to. So this is my anticipation for the week. I believe this should be very, very detailed. Now you see how market has been respecting this down. From here you go down to an FVG, move down, enter an FVG, you go down this reactionary block here. But continue should actually, in my opinion, to this FVG. If I get an opportunity to actually enter it, I would. And then you can see how these came down, went up, came back to this FVG, went up, has formed a little FVG inside there. Maybe we'll come down to it and then continue going up technical wise, but I'm not technical, has some blind spots, especially with the way market has been this period. So you don't just have to base everything on technical. Now you can see this, so it go down, go up, take this. Now watch, when it came to euro, it went down, up, down, up. You see this movement. So this is around 25th April, 28th April and 21st April. You can see going down, 21st, 28th. Now you can see this 28th and 21st. This was going up. So this mix. So you see that was this divergence. This came down. Now when it came down first, didn't take this low, went in here, came down, but see the movement out. So but let's see what happens. Anything is possible, anything can happen. Just be more open. Let's see how it goes. So I think this is it from me, guys. Have a nice week ahead.